Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Chandler Stump. This is the first podcast. Don't know the name of it. Funny story, actually. We just recorded about 5 minutes worth of content, and we didn't have the mics plugged in, so no wonder it sounded so bad. We're like, dang, bro, why does it sound like that? Yeah, for real. Yeah, but so I got my friend Tracey Jenkins here. This dude is the epitome of a go-getter, the epitome of I want something and I'm gonna achieve what I want, and I find ways to get it done. So it's a guy that I really admire, a guy that motivates me when I feel like I'm kind of bullshitting or I'm not really like doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So it's good. I think everybody could take inspiration away from this guy. But a little more about him. He is an athlete, always been an athlete, but more recently he's wanted to be a football player, and it hasn't really worked out in his favor. I don't want to spoil too much, but he's working really hard to be a football player, and it's kind of crazy, the story and the path that he had to take to do it. So I'd like to introduce him, my man Tracey Jenkins.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hello, world. How y'all doing out there?
Yep. So a little more. We went to high school together. I've hung out with him plenty of times. I know him plenty well. I know his family, so it's not like this is a brand new interview or anything, or a brand new conversation. But so I'd like him to start maybe around the beginning of your athletic career, maybe freshman year, maybe even middle school, maybe even the neighborhood when we first started. So yeah.
Okay. So growing up in a predominantly like white neighborhood and being a black kid, like I was naturally just faster, I guess, for the neighborhood that I was in, right? And then when I went to middle school, I just wasn't as developed as the rest of the kids.
Yeah.
And so I never got to play. I only had like 2 or 3 plays in like the whole middle school season. And I got a steal, fast break, 1 layup, and like that was it. So going into high school with a bunch of niggas, I knew that I was going to have to get better. Like right. That was the only case.
As I'm saying, different running against boys named John and Jack and Kyle. They got that speed, like, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, for real. So growing up and not being a star, and then seeing to where like, I guess like noticing my potential, like I really could be good at this if I like really worked hard.
This was more with the focus of basketball, right? Or
yeah. This was all basketball. I didn't play nothing else but basketball at this point. So hit the gym with my cousin. We training every day. Boom, boom. He's like making this little like workout documentary for his high school at the time. But then he leaves and he goes to MTSU, and I go to Centennial. So that season I have somewhat of success because of the amount of time and hours that we put in. And at the time, the 10,000 hours YouTube video was like just kind of up and coming.
Right.
So it was like, if you want to get good at something, you just work. So that was all we did. So now going into the summer, I guess after the freshman year, that's when we met. Or I guess we didn't meet, but that's when we like clicked and got close, because it was like, let's work. Like we in the neighborhood hanging out, and it's just like, okay, so like now what are we gonna do? You know, Coach Rector wanted you to gain weight, playing ball and all that. It was just like, well, I gotta go lift. And I wasn't nothing but 130 pounds, so it was like, well, yeah, me too. I'm trying to be strong.
Right.
And that was a part of my game that I like didn't have with my cousin, because he wasn't big on working out. He was just big on balling.
Yeah.
So we start working out, and things start changing.
This is about sophomore year, probably.
Yeah.
Around the time we started going to the gym every day, because people listening don't know, so that's what I'm saying.
Right, okay, yeah. So but when was the time, like, junior year and senior year all kind of, like, collide into one with me? Because I feel like sophomore year we was going.
You know what it was? You know what I think, like, really is, like, when you started, like... Because, like, you were always serious about athletics, but I think when you really, like, started, like, doing it for real is when you met Gerald.
Yes.
Yeah. So Gerald was a guy he was a family friend of Tracey's, and he was super into balling. I think he played overseas, right, or something like that. Like he's a real deal, and I got a chance to play with him in the Y or something one time, and like he could really ball. I don't know how good he was like in a real game, so to sense, but he could ball, and he knew what he was doing as far as like working out, at least way more than us. So, yeah, I think that's when Tracey really started to take off. This is probably.
That was sophomore year.
Yeah, 2014 maybe when we started doing that. But yeah, he really changed the like. If you hadn't met Gerald, I don't know
the trajectory of my life for real.
Yeah,
at least my work ethic for sure.
At least that, yeah.
Yeah, because he got me in the weight room.
Yeah,
because he was like, "You don't got to be big, you just got to be strong."
Right.
And we started doing stuff on the treadmill and all types of stuff.
Yeah.
100 reps of the ab crunch.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, that's crazy. So, so that puts a timeline on things. Right. Because they were with us when it was cold. And that's when we were going to the gym. Mm-hmm. Then once it got hot, I started coming outside. Yeah. And that's when we was hanging out. That was after the football season, y'all summer workouts. And you were like, well, I got to keep working out.
Yeah.
So that's when we started going. Yeah. So that was going into junior year. Mm-hmm. Because by that time, they had moved away. This and that, and we just had to keep it going.
Right, and we was die hard for this. Like we was die hard for this shit, boy. Like we lived this. Like we wake up at 4 a.m. Like you talking about a couple of 14, 15, 16-year-old kids like going to the gym every day, like before school. Like I don't know. Yeah, really. Like I feel like nobody really did that.
Nobody did. We was in the gym by ourselves.
Yeah, bro.
It was me, you, and the trucker.
Yeah, the trucker, man. Bro, that's so funny because I thought about him on the way over here. Bro, this dude used to wear some pants, some boots, and a white beater, and then he would just do curls every day, bro. That's all he knew. Arms was on swole, bro. Arms was on 100.
Heck yeah.
Legs was on, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6.
So that was... I don't know, bro. It was almost like that was all we knew was to just keep working hard. I think the reason for me, like, Gerald had a little more stardom in his, like, high school career than I had been seeing. And he was like, it's because this is what we do. Like, me and my whole team, we work, da-da-da-da-da. So I was just like, well, ain't nobody on my team working. So I know if I work, then boom, I'll achieve what it is that I really want.
Yeah.
And so... Same with you, and then wanting to have success on the field, it was just like, let's just get better. And I was like, all right, well, let's just keep working.
I definitely wanted some of that too. So you think that Gerald was going to help like transcend you to get to that college offer or that next level?
Without question.
Yeah.
Because it was a switch from I'm playing basketball, right? And I'm being put in positions like you ride the bench all game, but if we need to stop, we'll put you in. Mm-hmm. To no, I'm going to dominate the court and be the best person on offense. I'm not going to come out the game because I'm the best player. And I don't care who you are, you can't stop me. Like, it really was a switch to becoming unstoppable.
Right.
Because now I can shoot, I can drive. You not stronger than me because you ain't been lifting what I've been lifting, and y'all can't hang with me. Because I was already naturally, like, explosive and, like, good on my feet and, like, little things like that. Mm-hmm. So it was, like, being exposed to that type of talent, skill, but also that work ethic. It was just like, it don't matter who comes in this gym, it's mine.
Right.
And I saw that because freshman year, whatever I was playing freshman, once I got them 10 steals in that game versus, who it was, Hunter's Lane?
Yeah, yep. I drove by that school the other day. That's so funny.
So once I got them 10 steals.
We still lost that game, by the way.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't finish. So that was like the start of it all for me, right? So I worked with my cousin. Boom. I get the 10 steals in the game. Then I get moved up. And then I'm back on the bench because it's like I didn't have the dexterity to withstand at that level, right? So then I meet Gerald. Things get pushed up. And now I'm playing JV and varsity, playing defense just for varsity, still trying to like figure out my game on JV. But then going into junior year, after we go into the gym and all that, it was like, yeah, I'm the man.
Yeah.
But my attitude, that was like the one telltale thing that always set me back was my attitude to the coaches. Like, I knew I was the best, and I felt like I had to prove it to them because of what I'd done my sophomore and my freshman year. Mm-hmm. So there was a lot of like fuck you attitude.
Right.
Because now I can shoot, so you're not gonna put me on the bench. Like,
yeah.
I remember Coach Johnson calling practice because I wouldn't get off the court. He was just like, somebody sub him out, and when they came, I was like, nah, get off. And it's just like, you can't do that in the system. Like, you still got to be coachable regardless of how good you think you are or whatever.
I don't think that's an uncommon attitude to have, especially for a high school athlete when you're young, and it's like, I don't know how it was for you, but for me, it's kind of like you feel like every game is on the line, like because you want to get some film out there, like you playing with the college, like you're trying to get a scholarship, like you know what I mean. So it's like when your coaches aren't really giving you the looks you need, like I understand why kids have that attitude. I'm not saying that's the right way to feel about it, but I understand.
It's a way of going about it, especially when you got people like another you, right? So. In my situation, I had Keon. Mm-hmm. He's literally another version of me. We the same height, we the same skill level. He was a little bit stronger than me, but he had that dog mentality of performing and working. So it's like, I can't just let you take me off the court because now I really won't play. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I don't know. But there's a way to handle it. I still haven't really quite figured it out because you can't get walked over. Right. But you can't stand your ground disrespectfully. You gotta find a way to respectfully stand your ground to these coaches.
For sure.
Because that's so my mouth ended up getting me in trouble, and I completely stopped playing basketball. Period. Because after that whole incident, he was just like, "We gonna cancel practice if Tracey don't get off the court," and he really canceled practice. I was like, "Man, I'm not fooling with this no more. I don't even want to play basketball." He literally ruined basketball for me, and that was my first and only love. Like, I didn't want to do anything else. Right. But then you had Coach Steele, who was just like, man, I don't really care about that attitude because you running track. If you fast or you not.
So were you running track your junior year, or is this we fast forward to senior year, or are we still in junior?
So I started running track sophomore year because sophomore year was when I was on varsity, right? So they would bring me up. I literally would get stops and sit on the bench because they're like, you can't control the ball, you can't be our point guard. But you can play defense. So they would put me in like the last 4 minutes of the fourth quarter or put me throughout the game and get a trap here, trap there. But that was it. And so he was like, this is a misuse of your talent. Like, if they're not going to coach you to how to handle the ball and shoot and score and all this, then you just need to come run track because you're too quick, too fast to just not run. Right. And Coach Steele was somebody I had known. Like, he was training me throughout middle school. So once I ran track, he had me running the 400. I didn't want to run it. And then I was like, yeah, I'm not going to run no more. But then junior year came. I had met Gerald. We worked. I was cold. And then my attitude got me in trouble. And he was just like, man, how much time you going to keep wasting? Like, just come out to the track. Right. So then that's when things started shifting. And then senior year.
Was that when you started, I don't want to say losing your love for basketball, but is that when you started to shift your focus towards track and field?
Oh, most definitely. Because it was over with. Mm-hmm. Because he was making up BS excuses. So like when Coach Crutcher was there, he'd be like, Trust, you can't handle the ball up the court. And I'd be like, yes, I can. He was seeing Keon after me, and I wouldn't be able to do it. So It was just like, okay, that's a respectable reason of why I'm not playing in the game. Mm-hmm. But you got Coach Johnson, who's like, oh, he makes flashy passes, so I don't want him playing. Did I complete the pass or not? Like, why are you hating on me? You see what I'm saying? Right. So then he brings in KJ and Garrett from Indiana, and it's just like, it's their show. Okay, I don't have no problem taking a back seat, right? Because at first we was going to run like a 1-2 guard or like a 1-2 guard front. But then it was just like, nah, all KJ. But then KJ got in a situation where he was like having to like get his knee drained and it was swollen and all that. And I'm like, okay, well now it's time for me to step up. Like, you, even though I felt as the best, like I still had like a humble mentality in a sense of like, it's not my time. Like, but once I get my time, I'm going to make the best of it. Mm-hmm. Then he put the freshman in, right? So then it's just like, okay, disrespect, whatever, I'll work harder.
Who was a freshman?
Jalen McClain. Right?
Yeah.
So it's just like, and Hunter Metz, both of them.
Hunter Metz was good, though. I thought he was a good player.
They both solid. You see what I'm saying? But it's like, y'all wasn't better than me. Right. And they can see me to this day, and we can go play ball. Like, it's not, it just is what it is. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But what really did it all was the Franklin game, bro. So I'm shooting a couple steps from half court, right? Boom, boom. And like, when nobody's there in the gym, he was like, we're really going to need that tonight because, you know, these boys are tall, so we're going to need somebody to shoot them out the zone. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I got you, coach. Bro, I hit like 10 threes in a row, literally like a couple steps in front of the halftime. So I go to the locker room and I invite everybody. I invite like 15 different people, right?
Right.
I don't see the floor at all. I don't play at all.
Yeah. And playing Franklin High School, this is the biggest game of the year. This is our rivals. Like, this is a big game. So
and last year at this time, right, playing varsity with Coach Crutcher, even though I couldn't play, I got in the game, I made some stops, took a charge, ended up on the free throw line, and everybody's like screaming my name, right?
Right.
So there's already like this like build up to this game. Right, like you said, huge rivalry game, blah, blah, blah. I invite everybody, and then I don't play. And so then at that point, that's like 4 or 5 games into the season, and I have touched the court for a minute.
Right.
Parents talk to him, and they're just like, oh, well, he's not doing good in practice, da-da-da-da. My mom was just like, what? You lying. Like, he comes home every day and tells us boom, boom. And then talk to Coach Steele, and it was just like, well, look, man, at this point, you feel me? You don't got no offers in basketball. Y'all get a different coach every year, so the program itself already isn't producing nothing. What you finna do? Like, we sending people to state every year. This dude is in college, that dude's in college, da-da-da. So it was just like a business decision. Because mom already told me like she wasn't paying for college. So it was like...
You had to...
I got to do what I got to do.
Right, exactly.
So then I go out there and have some success, winning meets here and there, coming in second to like top guys. It's just like, I'm going to ride this thing out. So senior year, I ain't even fool with basketball.
Yeah. How were you feeling about it, like, emotionally at the time? Like, when you were trying to transition, like, were you just like, man, fuck basketball? Or were you like, oh, man, like, I still love that game, but, you know, I got to do what I got to do? Like,
it was like a mix of both, because it was just like, I felt like I put my all into the game of basketball, right? So, like, forget the coaches, like...
Especially all the time, even into it, like, the mornings, like, you know what I mean?
Man, so, everything. Because, bro, we would lift and then go play one-on-one.
Right.
Or we would lift and go shoot free throws or something. Like, everything was surrounded about getting better at basketball to become, like a dominant ball player.
Right.
And so, when it came to, like, not playing, it was like, yeah, it was the coach... But I'm looking at, like, the basketball guys. Like, man, I'm putting all this time in. Y'all ain't gonna, like... Yeah. I don't have no opportunity to shine. But I'm good. Like, I'm so cold, but I'm sitting on the bench.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, why is it not working out for you? Like, I put in the time, I put in the work. Which is so crazy because this is a reoccurring theme in Tracey's life, which is... It's interesting to say the least. But, yeah. So... Moving on to track and field. This is junior season track after basketball season.
Mm-hmm. So, start seeing a little bit of success in that, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't want to say there was no training, because you feel me, I go hard in practice, but I still love basketball. So, after track practice, I'm going to the gym to hoop.
Right.
So, there was never like a full-on dedication to track until going into my senior year, when he was like, you need to run indoor, you need to run outdoor, so that you can get a scholarship. And because of the success I had with barely training outside of practice, it was just like, bet I believe it, we're going to do it. Let's go.
Yep. And we never stopped the work, like, during this whole time. Like, when he's transitioning sports or whatever, like, we still in the gym with it. Because I was still trying to play football, like...
Every day.
We were still on it. So I just want to make that clear. Like, he was not...
His dad thought he was on steroids, man. Like... Yeah. He thought we was sneaking out to do drugs and stuff. He was like, look how big you are, man. You shouldn't be that big.
It's funny to think about it now. But I just don't want to, like, misconstrue, like, how this dude really was. Like, he wasn't out on the weekend, like, doing some dumb shit. Like, he was, like, really about this, like, really about that basketball life. He's really about that track life, too. So, like, he deserved whatever success came to him. It just didn't always work out for him.
Man, I was about grinding, bro.
Yeah.
Cause I feel like it was all I knew.
Right.
Right? So it's just like, okay, you had a little bit of success, but you want more. What do you do? Go back to the gym. Okay, you got a little bit more, but the coach is stripping. What do you do? Go get better. Mm-hmm. Now you switching sports. So now you gotta be better, because they thinking you only a basketball player, right?
Right.
So you gotta do something. And the only thing that still remains, no matter what, was the gym. Mm-hmm. The gym is always there. And then when my parents would be like, "Oh, you can't go because you didn't clean your room," or some whatever it was, I gotta wait in the garage. I'm sitting literally on my bathroom toilet, bro, doing incline press because it's just like, you not finna stop me from working. Like they was like, you can't go outside and run. You can't go outside and do this. You're not going to Chandler's house. I'll do push-ups in my room. Like, and this is the crazy part about it, bro. I tell people to this day, like, the pedigree that I came from is crazy, right? So I had Michael who introduced it to me, Gerald who took it further, but then I have my little brothers, bro. Like, I still say to this day, Marcus is the best football player in the family, right? And he just was naturally like that. But after he got hurt, right, and he wasn't able to move the same, that boy went to work. Me and Ryan in there playing Madden and stuff, and I go look in the room, he in there knocking out 1,000 push-ups. Yeah. Rock Diesel. So it's just like, I'm not finna let my little brother show me up, and not in a way of like, because at this point I wasn't even playing ball, but it's like, I'm not finna be out worked in my own house. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Right. So it was just like, let's get to work. So we getting pull-up bars, we doing anything and everything. And so that's when like, I forgot about that, like the exposing the weaknesses. When I was like, bro, I hate power clean. Like I learned that playing football at Centennial or whatever. I was like, I hate power clean. You were like, man, you gotta love that. Like if you want to get to the next level of anything, you gotta learn to love the things you hate. Right. So then I'm going crazy on that. Then I realized I wasn't good at pull-ups. So I get a pull-up bar. And it's just like, yeah, literally like you said, like the work never stopped. It just transitioned from, okay, now I'm doing hella squats so I can jump higher, or now I'm doing this so I can get faster. Like, transition, that was it.
That's good that you got to grow up with brothers in your house, because it's like that competitive spirit, like even if it's, whether you're just doing push-ups or playing Madden, like that stuff is so contagious, and it carries over to different things in your life. Man, like just to have that, like that's really really lucky to have someone that you could like compete against like that.
And they did everything. Like they mama like had them in sports all the time, so it was just like they went from football right to basketball right to track right back. Like they never had no break. AAU every year, all of that. Yeah. So all I had when they were playing, performing all year, I had my one season and it was work. Right. So he didn't get introduced to work until he focused on just playing football. Yeah. So it was just like he never had an off season, but that's all I've ever had is off seasons. Right. So going into whatever senior year, doing indoor, having some success.
What were you running? What races were you running?
Senior year, we really focused on the 2, the 4, triple jump, and that was it.
Yeah. Hey, you was a mean 400 runner, bro. I saw it in person.
We ran that bit for real.
Did you clock 49s?
Yeah.
Yeah, 49s?
Vandy grade 8. I got disqualified for a lane violation, but it was like 49 across the board.
Yeah. That's the threshold as far as the 400 meter goes? Like, yeah, for high schools, yeah. You're the real deal if you clocking 49.
Clocking 49, you going to probably make it to the next level for sure.
Right, yeah.
But, again, so grinding all this time, right? Being on pace to run a 47, right? I was running with Chris Sanders at the time. Mm-hmm. He was just taking it to like the next level, because Steel was more of an endurance base, right? But Chris was like pure speed, like nothing but just pure explosion. Yeah. So I'm working out with him. I'm getting faster, trimming my 200 time down to transfer over to my 4. And when we're doing trials, man, I'm on pace to run a 47. So I reach out to UCLA, UT, Memphis, like all these big schools, and they're like expecting my first race. Get out of my first race and I pull my hamstring. Top of the season, I tell the coaches, blah, blah, blah. No response. Right. It's just like, sorry, like you're hurt. We don't want you no more. So even then, my hamstrings hurt. And I remember you telling me, I'm in there doing hamstring curls. You're like, man, there's no point to beat a dead horse. Like you injured, heal the injury, work on everything else, and then pick back up. So I'm benching, get huge. Then come back to the track, and I don't lose a race until we get to whatever. What is that day when we had a track meet, and I didn't show up. I showed up you remember? You were supposed to throw, and I was supposed to jump, and we got there right in time.
Was it
at Brentwood?
Brentwood High School?
Yeah.
I think it was, yeah.
So whatever that day was, that was the final race going into state.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just didn't prepare. I was at home watching Arnold Schwarzenegger movies all day. Like, literally, I was not.
Why did you do that? Like, this is your biggest race. Like, why did you not?
Dude, I was supposed to ride with you. I don't know what happened. I remember waking up.
Oh, my God.
It was a Saturday.
I do remember this.
And I watched the U. And I was like, man, I told you, I was like, man, I want to go to Miami where Miami's lit, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, man.
And then I watched Arnold Schwarzenegger. I take a nap. I wake up. I'm like, Chandler, where are you at?
And I was already there, I think. I think I was at my house, and Coach Steele was calling me.
Yeah.
He's like, what's up, man? He's like, where's Tracey at, man? Like, we about to run right now. Like, where's he at? And I can't remember, like, what I said or why I wasn't there already. Like,
yeah,
why I didn't pick you up or, like, what was going on with me. You were sleeping, and I was trying to call you.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't answer. That's what it was.
Well.
And Coach Steele was calling me, like, where's he at? And I was like, Coach Steele, I'm trying to call him. He's sleeping right now. Which is so funny because that was such a... you said that was a big race, right? Like,
it was huge.
Yeah.
Huge. And I missed it, so I didn't get to go to state for my individual events. But it was just like, whatever, you feel me? Because at this point, I know how fast I am. I know what I can do. And because of my D1 or nothing attitude, like turning down all the small offers, it was just like, I'm going to walk on at a D1 school and we're going to figure it out.
Right.
So with Lipscomb giving me an opportunity to run, or no, at that point he was just like, run summer track. F it don't even matter. Just run summer track. So I literally ran track from December or whenever indoor started. So I guess September, really, because we started training for it, all the way up until August. So almost a whole year of track.
So because you missed that race, you think that really like hindered your like getting offers? Like,
in a sense, because it's just like, how do you compete against the best in the state?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I went to Vandy grade 8, and it's just like, okay, that's in your region, and if I would have placed, I would have placed third because that's where I came, but it was disqualified. So then it was just like every time it was time to really get to it, for whatever reason, I didn't show up.
Right.
So it's like, we got this little county meet. I get first place in everything. I go to, I don't know if it's sectional or regional first, but whatever. I go to the first one, boom, do my thing. Go to the next one, do my thing. It's like, you know, because you don't want to go all out on those meets. You just want to get second, third place to secure your spot. Go to the next one. So then I get to Vandy grade 8. And in Vandy grade 8, I was seeded 8th because of my performance at the last one, where it was just taper back. So them boys ended up doing better than I thought they were going to do. So boom, that put me in lane 8. Come out the gate. Crazy. Taking off. And then they said from when I came out of my blocks that I had a lane violation from the beginning. Right. So at that point, we were supposed to peak because that was going to set us up for basically the rest of the season. But then lane violation, even though it was my best race, it was like, cool, we're still on track. So that day at Brentwood, I was supposed to go dumb crazy. But I didn't show up.
Dang.
So
tragic. But everything happens for a reason, I suppose.
But everything happens. So then we go on to summer track, and I'm running against this dude. And I'm not gonna say his name now because he's he's in like jail and all types of stuff now.
Yeah.
But he was the only person that I truly couldn't beat. And I couldn't beat him because I believed I couldn't beat him. Because Coach Steele was like, go all out and you got this race.
Is it our school or a different school?
Nah, he went to Stratford.
Oh, okay.
You know him? You remember him?
No.
No? All right. Well, anyway, we are running and I'm going like 130%. And this man literally just glides past me, right? Like it was nothing after he just ran the 800. Oof. So I'm like, what in the world? This man is crazy. So then I see him again, another time in like a 4x4 or something. And I was always able to catch up and hawk people down, but I could not do it to him. Like him and Kylan Stribling were the only two people who were able to like be in front of me and I not catch him.
Right.
And so, so I saw him in outdoor or whatever. Then I got an opportunity to go indoor. Mm-hmm. Indoor state or whatever. And it was supposed to be like, how many people was it supposed to be? I don't know how many people it was supposed to be, but it ended up only being like 3 of us. Right? And he was one of them. And I'm like, I got this in the bag. Like, I'm going to beat him this time. Like, he's not going to win. And I get disqualified again.
What was it this time?
Bro, so another lane violation, right? So we come around like the merging because it's indoor. So we get to merge and I'm on the inside of the track. So he comes on the outside and like impedes in my lane. So when he impedes, I throw my elbow up, but my left foot steps off the track. Okay? Mm-hmm. That took so much energy out of me. I was just on his butt the whole time.
Right.
So I think he ran like, I'll say he ran like a 49.87 and I ran like a 49.91. Like, it was literally like boom, boom, boom. Mm-hmm. So then I'm standing on a podium and he comes and takes me off the podium. It's like, yeah, you had a lane violation. You're not going to win. I was like, this is crazy.
Bro, what? I mean, come on. Like, how big of a factor is you stepping off the lane for 1 second?
Like, everybody else was way behind us, bro. Like, they weren't even close. So it was just like, y'all literally just gave him second place. So that was leading up to, I like completely skipped. So it was like, that was indoor going into senior year. So then senior year happened. I didn't show up for that. So I didn't get to see him in state. Mm-hmm. So then I saw him again in summer. But that's when he stopped racing the 4. He was like, I'm doing all middle distance or like whatever distance because I'm going to MTSU and that's what they want. Blah, 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 blah. And then, yeah, that was it. I went to Lipscomb and I was like, I'm going to be a sprinter, blah, blah, blah. And that was it.
How'd you get on in Lipscomb? Did you just...
Yeah, so going to Lipscomb, they wanted me after my sophomore year because I had 2 people actually run track with Coach Steele and go to Lipscomb and do well. And so they came back and they were like, yeah, Tracey works hard, boom, boom. He was on the team our senior year, this and that. He would be a good fit for us. So they wanted me, offered me, and I was like, I don't even know what Lipscomb is. I'm not going. Like, I'm going to UCLA or I'm not going to college.
Right.
But when things got, to the nitty gritty, I was just like, Coach, I'm injured, but like, I did decent in summer track. Do you still have space on your team? And he was just like, yeah, man. He was like, we've given out all our scholarships, but come to the captain practices or whatever, and, depending on how you do in conference, you'll be straight. Like, we'll give you a scholarship. And I was like, okay, cool. So the fastest person they had on the team at the time was Wayne Newman. And so his fastest time to my fastest time was like a second. And a second is huge in track. But like, he's a grown man and I'm 17 years old. And I'm like, oh, this is in the bag.
Right.
So, but we got some crazy recruits that year. Mm-hmm. But even still, like, I wasn't tripping. Like, I'm gonna hold my part. Right. Because like, again, I work. So I'm going to rise to the level of competition that I'm at. Or like really surpass them, to be honest. Mm-hmm. So we get out there and they got like real 400 runners. Like dudes like 6'7", 150 pounds and just long. And then they have like real sprinters built like running backs. Right. But again, like I rose to the level. So after like the 10th real practice, so we had like a week of captain practices, then we had like real practices. I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know if it was the training or what, but like my body wasn't responding to it and I was getting slower. Mm-hmm. And so that was really hard for me to buy into the training because it was just like, man, I do better on my own and in high school than I'm doing now, and I don't understand it. And so I reached out to Coach Steele and he was like, just trust the process. It's all a part of it. Trust the process. And again, I was fighting my identity with the 4, trying to be a sprinter. Right. And like things were just changing. But then I got injured. So I never got to compete in conference and never had an opportunity to earn a scholarship. So then I came back a second year and same thing. Injured, sick, didn't get a chance to perform.
Man.
But we forgot the part where it was like, you decided that you were going to go play football, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm coming. Like, it is. Like, because I didn't want to run track in college.
Right.
I wanted to play football. Because after Coach Rector or whatever, it's just like, I don't need y'all to play ball. Like, I will prove to you, I don't have to go through you to play football. I'll go play football somewhere else and be successful at it. Mm-hmm. So once you decided to, you feel me, go walk on, I was going to go. But then Moms was like, nah, you're going to take this opportunity at Lipscomb because they'll pay for your school once you run. And then, you feel me, the cookie crumbled how it did.
Yeah.
But going into junior year was the switch of everything. And I feel like this is where my story really starts. I feel like mentally I wasn't strong enough in high school to surpass the coaching. Even though like I pivoted to what would be a better situation, I still never got my school paid for. So if I didn't get my school paid for, then I should have been doing what I wanted to do. I was running for my mom and for Coach Steele. Like, I don't want to see his hard work go to waste. But he's like a dad, man. He's like, I'm proud of you for just waking up in the morning. But yeah, so I didn't want to stay. I didn't really want to run. The reason I stayed with track so long is because I was having success, and it felt good to finally get some success.
Right.
So once it went away again, I'm like, man, I don't even like doing this. Like, I'm out here. I don't like to run. So why am I running? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, I'm doing it for my mama, and I'm doing it for the coach. But once I had a conversation with him, because I'm going to support you in whatever, and now I had a conversation with my mom, it was just like, oh, well, I'm done. And they're like, so what is it that you want to do? I want to play football again. Like, I want to go play football.
And when was this? This is sophomore year of college? Or freshman year of college?
I mean, I made this statement, I want to play football, when we were sitting on the porch at my house.
Right, yeah.
When I first got kicked off the team for being disrespectful. So, from that moment, my whole, like, in my mind, my whole goal to play football again was to just get as fast as I could, run the fastest 40, return kicks, get picked up, they developed me as a receiver, and then boom.
Right. So from that point on, what's your plan now? Like, what's in Tracey Jenkins' head?
So at junior year, I had stopped training with Chris. He had got real busy with his school and all that, and it just wasn't as frequent as I would like. And then that's when Corey came into the picture. That's when Uncle Corey came into the picture. So I'm meeting with him 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm doing jump ropes. I'm sliding, push-ups, doing all this. And he's just like, man, if you want to play football, then you need to be playing football. You don't need to be running no more damn track. That's not helping you play no football.
Right. Because
what happens once you get hit? I ain't going to get hit, man. I'm going to be the fastest thing out there. I'm going to be like lightning. They ain't going to be able to touch me. He's like, it sounds good until they hit you.
Right.
So he's like, if you want to play ball, man, you need to go play ball. And I'm like, well, mama won't let me play ball. And he was just like, this is your life. You got to figure out what you want to do for you. So that whole junior season, from September to December, I had got strep 7 times, right? And so that was kind of like the ultimate decision maker right there. Like, I had went from like 170, 165 all the way down to like 130 pounds. Like, my chest was encaved and everything because I was so sick that I couldn't work out, never was eating, none of that.
Right.
So the track coach at the time, I'm still on team, he was just like, oh, you need to run. I'm like, bro, I'm not running. I'm not putting up no more bad times. Like, I can't. I'm starting to look at myself as a failure because I haven't had any success since I left high school. Since my senior year, I haven't had no success. I'm 3 years out. Like, trust these nuts, nigga. I'm finna leave. I'm not doing this no more. So I was like, I'm not putting it up. And he's like, so you're quitting? I'm like, yeah, I'm moving on to bigger and better things. No disrespect to you, but
right.
If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it big. And this is not me. For whatever reason, it's just not working out. So another transition, training, getting ready for football, and the conversation was whatever. My little brother is now going to Memphis. So I got my best friend at Memphis who walked on there, was in the mailroom for some months, then actually got an opportunity to work out, and is now playing on special teams. I'm like, okay, well, if he did it, he's already doing it, and my little brother is finna go in there and play ball, I'm going to Memphis, Mom. I don't care what you say.
Which he did for a brief time. Marcus did go there.
And was kicking niggas' heads on when he was on scout team. So it was just like, all right, so Mama, I'm going. And she was like, no, you're not. And after the influence of Uncle Corey and my father, I was just like, Mom, this is what I'm going to do. Like, we're going to transfer to this school because I feel like I can play at this school. My grades transfer over good. Like, her whole thing was like getting a degree.
Yeah.
And the school was cheaper.
So that's funny that you bring that up because I wanted to ask you, like, how hard was it to go against your mom's wishes, I guess, or her...
Bro, so hard,
yeah,
bro.
Because I feel like that's a big point in someone's life. Like, that's really when they become themselves. I don't want to say become an adult, but I'd like become who they are is when they start doing what they want to do because it's what they want to do instead of because of what somebody else wants to do. So
the dynamic of me and my mom's relationship, bro, is like tighter than the color of your skin to your bone. Like, it just is what it is, bro. We were so close, so tight, and I love my mom more than I think I love myself, truthfully. Mm-hmm. And I mean, yeah, I outside of coming out her, like, everybody comes out their mama, but like, I came out her and then stayed right there. Like, I never left. Like, being young, my dad was at work and I'm with her. There wasn't no going to daycares, going to schools. I was home trained by her. Then when I went to school, she was coming into school, like making sure that I was sitting down in my classes. Like, me and my mom were like super duper close. So then when the divorce happened, we got even closer because I was there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so my sister is grown, or not grown, but like older. So she's at school doing her thing. Dad is gone. I'm literally going with her to every client she trains, every meeting she goes to, anytime she goes to the bank. Like, I was basically attached to her hip. And so with the pain that my dad caused, it was just like the only thing that my mom has is me. The only thing I have is really her because I couldn't count on him.
Right. Because
he wasn't there. So, and it was easy. Like, it was installed in me to listen from her, from my dad, from my stepdad. It's just like, you gonna listen to your mama when your mama talks, right? So when it would be like, Mom, I don't really want to run track. No, son, it's best for you to run track. You know more than me, so you're probably right. I am having some success. Oh, whatever. You know, I want to make my mama happy because my sister is ringing her through hell right now. So, like, and it's cool. Like, I enjoy my teammates. I enjoy my coaches. And I am getting faster. Still working to my ultimate goal. Mm-hmm. But once, you know, push came to shove or whatever, and I think it comes down to connection, bro. Like, me and Corey had got, like, real close. And he was just like, man, I'm going to support you in this journey because I believe in you.
Right.
And so there wasn't ever, like, it's not that my mom didn't believe in me, but it was just like, I think this is what is best. Looking at the fruit, right? You play basketball. There was no good fruit from that. You didn't perform. You was too much of a hothead to play football at the time, so they kicked you off the team. But in track, you excel. Yeah, there's been some bumps in the road, but you're doing well, son. Just stay there. Mm-hmm. But once he supported me into the football thing, and he's a Super Bowl champion. So if a Super Bowl champion is saying, no, son, I believe that you can go do this and do that and boom, 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 especially coming from your background, I stamp it. I'm going, I'm going. Like, we're going to figure it out.
Right.
So, boom. I show Mom, and this is where Marcus comes into play big time because he is all about me, like, me and my mom still being close, but like becoming my own man, making my own decisions, like ripping the umbilical cord at 18, 19 years old, whatever age it was.
Right.
And so he was just like, if you do this, you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to figure out how many more years of school you got, where the money's going to come from to do it, because at this point you done lost scholarships from being sick, not going to class, boom, boom, or whatever. So going back to California wasn't an option. It wasn't gonna happen because my dad like didn't support it. We didn't go through with everything. But even on the flip side, I wasn't ready to leave my mom. I wasn't finna go stop doing something that like brought her joy and leave her. So it was just like, I'm gonna stay in Tennessee. I'm gonna be able to go to this school because this is like the best school for my success that still was close enough but far enough. Like it just kind of like MTSU just kind of worked out perfectly.
Right.
Until you feel me, I get there, obviously. But even then, man, it was like I don't know, like all the little pieces started coming together.
Mm-hmm.
But then COVID happened. So
hold on. So you done with track. This is your junior year. You stayed on with track for like a good year or so. Like 2 years after you wanted to start playing football.
Yeah.
Getting closer with Uncle Corey, and then what was the deciding factor that made you want to leave Lipscomb? Just because you just wanted to go for it?
That and then being sick. Like I'm putting my all in. So like after it was like an uproar in the house about me going to play ball, it was just like, F it, bro. I'm just gonna run. Right? I got injured. So the whole time I was there, I was injured.
Yeah.
So I was injured again and then sick. Like how you get strep 7 times in 3 months, bro? That's like something is wrong. Right. So I took it as a sign from God. Like you don't need to run no more.
Right.
And I felt it because my heart wasn't in it. Like my heart was growing like cold. I felt like.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
And I'm dreaming. All I'm doing is dreaming about making plays on the field, being in the league, like just playing ball. And when I would play in the little flag league, I'm going crazy. 10 catches and 10 touchdowns. I'm like, Mama, I'm a ball player, man. Like, I need to be going to play ball somewhere. So then, yeah, I think, what was your question?
Yeah, just like, pretty much answered. Like, when was the point that you, like, decided, you said your heart wasn't in it?
December, man. September is when I got sick. Then December, I was healthy, and we ended up getting, or January, we started training. If
you think about it, it probably was a sign from God, because, like,
I can't even run.
Yeah, you can't even run. You're thinking about this thing every day, and it's like, man, it's like he put you, or he made you sick just so you would like sit down and realize, like, yeah,
right. Like, what do I really want out of all of this?
Right. Yeah. Made you slow down.
Heck yeah, man.
And that's cool. So you decide, yo, I'm looking around. I want to play football, like, and I think I might have had some kind of factor in this as well. It's like I was like, yo, like go try MTSU, like go walk on, like you can do it, bro. Like, so
yeah,
you go to MTSU with that mindset.
Yeah, so I go into MTSU knowing that, man, I'm the coolest thing since ice water. Like I'm going ball.
You froze on, huh?
Man, yeah, because like one, it's advertised that they believe in their walk-on program, right? Like they have walk-ons on the team that play, earn scholarships, and move on.
Right. The coolest thing since ice water.
Man, like I've been saying for so long, like if I got to play college football, I would be an All-American. Like it's too easy. The ball is little. Right. So because he was a Super Bowl champion, I was training with the NFL ball all the time. So once I started training with a college ball, because it was like solidified I'm going to college, I took one of their balls the first day I was there, and everything was one hand. Like it was like, bro, I'm Odell Beckham. Like I'm better than Odell. And then I get there, and I actually got pads on, and shit got real.
Yeah.
But it just took me a minute. It just took me a minute to get comfortable. But once I got comfortable, and I give that to the GA, man, and you, bro, like calling you every day, letting you know how practice went, and you just like, man, you just gotta get out there and ball, man. Like you can hang with these boys, boom, boom, boom. Yeah. And then Kylan, the dude who I ran track against, played DB. He played safety there. So it was just like Cruz, who went to Ravenwood. So it was like there was like some comfortability, like I don't have to overthink this process.
Right.
Like just ball.
It can be so overwhelming too when you think about everything going on at once, and it's like you're really tricking yourself, because really the only thing you need to worry about is like what you got going on that day.
That's it.
Or that practice or that play. Like that's relating it to football, but you can relate that with anything, like
to life, bro. Because I'm thinking about like everything I did to get here, all the hills I ran, and this and that and this, and like I'm thinking about a billion things, and then the coach is like, "Why did you go?" I'm like, "Oh, I didn't even know the ball snapped." Like I'm just not even in. Like that actually didn't happen, but what did happen was like I was in a drill. I was in line for a drill, and this dude that got on to me is like, he was like one of my close friends now, but like he was like, "Are you gonna go? Like, step up and go." But I didn't know where on the field I was supposed to be.
Right.
So I'm like just standing there like looking around like, oh man, I don't know where I'm supposed to go. And he was like, "Nigga, you in my drill." Right? And so his story is even crazier than mine. And so he's like, you feel me? He wants all his reps because he's trying to see the field too.
Right.
But yeah, man, on my birthday, I'm going out there. I catch my first catch. It was a corner route. And what happened? I like I don't know what coverage that man was running, but playing outside, shake him off, get inside, stair step him, boom, run the corner, the ball is perfectly placed, catch it, and as soon as I catch it, I get like blown up by the safety. LaMarcus France, man, and this man, like, it was a little muddy that day, and so I literally slide from the field all the way to the fence. My feet fold over my neck, and I'm just happy as hell holding the ball up. Like, I caught it. I ain't dropping it. I got this ball. And from that moment on, man, it was just like, I'm destined for this. Like, I can do this. And no matter what, I'm going to ball when given the opportunity.
Right. That's a great feeling, huh? You're on top of the world right there.
Oh, man, because I already know what time it is, right? Like, and then I'm seeing their work ethic, right? Like, I'm seeing boys show up late to 6 a.m. workouts. And I'm like, nigga, me and Chandler was getting up at 4. This is nothing. Like, I'm eating this.
What? Yeah.
You see what I mean? So it's like, again, the pedigree that I come from is like, we really do this. My nigga was pushing mail, looking at emails, and now he, you feel me, has a jersey with a locker and a neck roll. Like, nah, my nigga is solidified, right? My little brother went from, you feel me, the best person in Murfreesboro to tearing his ACLs and everybody forgetting about him, and now he's working the starting defense at Memphis, and Memphis is good.
Right.
So it's like, I'm coming to MTSU, bro. I'm going ball, bro. Like, I got my trainer, I got my little cousins, like, looking at me. It's just like, no, we gonna do this, bro. I'm gonna put the city on the map. And then my mama. And then, don't even, like, a Super Bowl champion, bro. Like, my bloodline is crazy.
Crazy.
So it's like, bro, like, I do this.
We got another college football player in the house right now. He live with him.
Bro, like, the star quarterback at Vanderbilt, the first black quarterback that Vanderbilt ever had. SEC Player of the Week with a broken hand. Like, the strongest quarterback to ever walk through Vanderbilt.
Right.
It's like, nigga, we do this. It's not even no game about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, me playing basketball and running track was just like, oh, okay, whatever. At some point, you're going to pick up a helmet and you're going to go crazy. Right. It just so happened to be 19 years old. Yeah. So then, long story short, man, we go through the whole season. Oh, no. So, I'm like fighting for a spot every week, right? Mm-hmm. And these receivers, like, this is a good receiver core. They got a cat from Cali, dominant receiver from down in Kentucky. And you feel me? They had a couple people who were like me, I would say, like in their style of play, but they just had more experience, right? And all these guys were on scholarship. Right. But when things started dwindling down, like people getting hurt, people not showing up, not doing this and that, I'm thinking like, this is my time. So they bring me up to practice with the ones, and I do my thing. I had 3 catches, and that was it. But I only had 3 targets, 3 catches. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna play, like, because they not doing their job or they're hurt, and I got in the fire, for real in the fire, and I produced. We go out, you feel me, for that Friday practice, and I don't have no helmet or nothing like that, and I'm just like, dang, all right, well, work harder, okay?
What do you mean you have no helmet? They took your helmet from you?
No, so like you have the walk-on helmets that have like the little extra padding on them, and then you have the people who gonna play helmets with the MT thing on the side, like they have a symbol on their helmet.
Oh, so you thought you were gonna get like one of the symbol helmets?
I thought they was gonna switch mine out because you feel me. Y'all brought me up with the ones consistently 3 days in a row. I'm doing my thing, and each day I got 1 target and 1 catch. Like I haven't messed up. And if you watch what I've been doing on scout team, I'm killing the number 1 defense. Our defense looks trash. Mm-hmm. So granted, I didn't know that they had changed homeboy's position. Or whatever, and because we teammates, I don't want to say his name or nothing, but like I was working his ass every single day. Mm-hmm. Like niggas coming up like, bro, take it easy, bro. Don't expose me, bro. I gotta build my confidence up for the game this week. Nigga, I'm trying to ball, bro. I'm not worried about you at all.
Yeah, what?
So once I get brought over to to the ones like where they repping, you feel me? The starters would go, and then I would go. It was just like, yeah, I know I'm gonna play because if I did good over here, I'm doing good over here. I'm doing good over here. I'm working hard in weight room. My grades is straight. I'm showing up to every meeting. They're gonna be like, yeah, let's give this kid a shot because again, it's advertised that they believe in their walk-ons. Mm-hmm. So, long story short, man, I don't ever end up seeing the field the whole season.
Yeah. Still balling out of practice though every week.
Still balling out of practice every single day. Returning kicks, doing this, doing that, getting in on gunner reps, like everything. Like at this point, I've built a relationship with the coaches, and they just want to see what I can do because of how hard I work. So, season is coming to an end, and they're like, "Man, look, this is the offensive coordinator." He's like, "Man, I'm excited to see what you are going to do this spring, man." He was like, "I've been on you, I've been picking on you, but you worked so hard, and you overcame or whatever." And so it's just like, cool. So at this point, now that the season's over, the starters are starting to like respect me. Like, man, you go hard, da da da. So it's just like I'm finally getting plugged in. It's like the one dude, Zach Dobson, he's actually at TSU now. When he got hurt, he was like, man, put little Tracey in, bro. Put little Tracey in. Tracey be going to work on them boys over there. And he got me to get in practice with the ones. Right. So it's like, they speaking on my behalf. Coaches are starting to say something like, "Oh, well, you know that Jenkins kid, you know he'll do this, he'll go hard, blah blah blah," and it's just kind of like whatever. Bro, it got to the point where I'm watching film with the receiver coach, Austin Silvoy at the time. We were watching film, and he's like, "I'm gonna show you how to do a perfect diamond release, right?" So he shows me CJ, he shows me Jaren, he shows me, but he doesn't know it's me. He's like, "Damn, that was good." He said, "Oh, that was you." Okay, well next we're gonna do this. What? Had no idea, bruh.
But he didn't acknowledge that it was good.
He didn't. Nah, because it's like you're a walk-on. You're not supposed to like be this good. But I have been training. Like I came in with no film. Like give me a shot, and I was like, here's some pads. You're in shape, but whatever. But once I started balling, they didn't have no choice but to respect it. But they weren't in a position to put. They didn't come get me. I wasn't their guy. Right. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like some of the guys that are walk-ons weren't in my situation. First of all, they have history of playing ball, so they have some film to show them. And they were like, "We want you, but we can't give a scholarship. So you feel me? Come on, and then we'll get scholarship next year," type thing, based on how you do. That wasn't me. I literally was just like, "Yeah, I go to school here and." I want to play ball. Mm-hmm. Have you played before? No, I haven't, but I've been training.
And then after, that was 2019 season, right?
Yeah, that was 2019.
And then you started to make something shake a little bit, and then COVID
happened. So the OC called me. So I went home with one of the freshman quarterbacks at the time because we was going to train in Kentucky together. And the OC called me and was like, "Hey, man, I was really looking forward to seeing what you were going to do this spring. But because of COVID, we aren't going to have one. So it would be best for you to transfer." I said, "Coach Franklin, I've never played football before. I don't have no film to really transfer nowhere." Uh-huh. And he was just like, "Well, son, I'm just going to tell you right now, you're not going to play here. We got the old scholarship guys coming back. The seniors, for one, are coming back because they get their eligibility back because of COVID. And we got new guys coming in. And we don't have a spring to see what you really can do, so you got the short end of the stick on this one." I said, "Well, what about everything I did on scout team?" And he was just like, "That scout team, that's not our plays. We don't care about other people's plays. We want to see if you can run our plays. Can you execute our plays?" That's what he said. And I said, "Okay, what about the days that I got brought up and I practiced with the starting offense?" He said, "That was 3 days, son." He said, "Anybody can be good on 3 days." He said, "Look, man, you aren't going to play. I'm just telling you, I just wanted to let you know. Have a good day."
So it didn't matter what you told him. He was,
"Get out.
Yeah.
You're not our guy. We didn't pick you." That's basically what was going on. Mm-hmm. So he had said that. The receiver coach had said that. So at that moment, man, I'm literally just reaching out to anyone on the team. Like, "Do y'all have any connections anywhere, bro? Like, I need to play. Like, I'm too good to sit at home." And now I know I'm good because I've been working these niggas every day for a whole year. I worked y'all all season. Right. So, ended up putting together like the little bit of practice film I had. Mm-hmm. And the quarterback that they brought in that never got to play, Randall Johnson, hooked me up with a coach out in Kansas. It was his JUCO coach, Coach Carter. So I sent him my film, and he told me that they needed somebody to play defense. And so I was like, I'm a receiver, but you feel me? My trainer played DB in the league, so I can just start working on that. And I was like, but truthfully, I want to play both sides of the field. Like, this was the NAIA school. So in my mind,
Kansas?
Yeah, in Kansas. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm coming from a D1 and was working y'all. Like, I'm not going to no NAIA and riding a bench. Like, I'm not coming off the field ever. Like, my background is running 400s in track. Like, I can play a whole football game and not get tired.
Right.
So, man, long story short, I get out there. They got me playing DB. Oh, wait, man, I didn't skip this part. So, I had gotten a wreck.
Oh, yeah.
I had gotten a wreck, almost lost my life.
This was before Kansas, or
Yeah, that was before Kansas.
Oh wow!
It's been 2 major ones.
Yeah.
So the first one was, let's say March is when I came home from Joey in the house, because that's when we were supposed to have spring ball. So I was out there with him, finna train, get ready for spring. They called no spring ball, blah blah blah, because it was right during spring break, and so he was just like transfer, and I was like, I can't. But at that point, Joey was like, no spring ball. I'm chilling. I'm finna kick my feet up, find some hoes, and call it a day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, nigga, I'm getting to work. So I immediately left once I got off the phone with him. I immediately left, met up with my Uncle Corey. We started getting to work. Working out, making connections, boom. In April 4th to be exact, I'm driving down the street, taking my cousin to Joanne's. Man, this car comes out of nowhere, like crosses over in front of me, pushes me on oncoming traffic. I get T-boned. I go unconscious. I wake up in a ditch and my car is on fire. Like,
Jesus.
Wake up, car's in flames. I'm like, bro, I lived a better life than this. Like, there ain't no way I'm in hell. And then consciousness came and everybody was like, get out the car.
That's right. You really thought that? Like, while you was...
Bro, that was the first... It was nothing but flames, bro. Nothing but flames, bro.
What?
Hot as hell, bro. My feet were burning, bro. Literally, because, like, it was so hot that I was wearing my black Vapor Max. The, like, mesh of the Vapor Max was melting into my skin.
Holy shit.
Yeah, like, I still got a little burn mark on my foot today. So, they tell me get out the car. I get out the car, and I, like, can't move my arm. And so, I'm, like, using my right arm, push the door open, and I'm looking down, and there's blood on my shirt. And so, I look at my cousin, I say, is my nose straight? Because at the Y one of them days, my nose had got jammed. So, I broke it when I was a kid, and then it got jammed, switched the other way. So, I was like, is it straight? And she was like, yeah, it looks straight. And I'm like, damn, well, it's broken again. So
you can feel it broken?
Mm-hmm. Because if it was already crooked. So if it's back straight, that means you just broke it back the other way. So I knew my nose was broke, but as I'm walking across the street, like, my arm doesn't have no swing to it. And so she's like, what's going on with your arm? I'm like, I don't know. So long story short, I ended up finding out I broke my wrist. I had a concussion and my nose was broke. My wrist was so severely broken, they said I was never going to be able to catch again. So football was over with. And wow. I was like, yeah, you don't know who I am. Like, that's not gonna happen. But laying there in my bed with my little cast or whatever, like, I could only feel my pointer and thumb. Like, I couldn't move my fingers. I couldn't feel nothing. Like, I couldn't feel them. Like, all feeling in my forearm, elbow, all of that was gone. Like, I could just feel like a stretch in my tricep at all times, but nothing else. And so, yeah, I had no mobility to, like, twist it or nothing. And where it was broke, they were like, you can't have surgery. This just is what it is. And so when I get, like, pushed into a situation where it is what it is, I'm like, well, it is what it is right back.
Right.
I'm going to make some shape. So this is crazy. So that was in April, right? In May, so May 4th, right? So I finally get unconcussed. Yeah. Oh, and at that, bro, so we still in school, okay? Yeah. So I have a concussion. I can't get on my computer. I'm throwing up if I look at my screen too long. The school tries to fail me. And it's like... MTSU, they're like, if you don't do your classes, you fail. And I'm like, bro, I'm concussed. I can't do it. So my mom buys me these little blue light glasses or whatever, and I thug through it, get all my work done, blase. Shout out to the people who actually helped me finish some classes. Bitch, yeah, MTSU was on some BS for that because I literally almost lost my life. But anyway,
that's crazy.
A month later, right, still in my cast, I go out and I'm training. And they're like, man, what you doing out here, man? I'm like, nigga, but life goes on. Like, my wrist is messed up, but my feet work. I might have to go play running back now. I'm going to do something, but I'm going to ball, right? Mm-hmm. So I still haven't received the offer from St. Mary yet, right? So I'm just, like, grinding. So, man, get out there, and on my third rep, I tear my meniscus, fool.
Oh, my God.
1 month out of broken wrist and all that. I think on the May 1st was the first time, like, I got outside my house. I started running, jogging again, and I'm like, whew, all right, this is going to be hard, but, like, we got to get to it. I got to start somewhere.
Right.
So I go out a couple of days later on the 4th. I'm out here doing a drill, stick, plant, fall, get up, catch the ball. He was supposed to be throwing me a tennis ball, but he threw me a football, and I caught it. Mm-hmm. And then as I'm running off, I'm like, man, that ain't feel right. And I had messed up my meniscus before back at Centennial playing basketball. And I was like, yeah, I think I tore my meniscus. So long story short, got my meniscus torn and had to get surgery. So I tore it in May. I got the surgery in June. Did rehab all of July. And my first time full speed sprinting. Because during that time is when I talked to the coaches in Kansas. They let, like, you feel me, they told me what it was going to be. Blah, blah, blah. They told me when to get there was August 1st. Mm-hmm. So I got surgery on the 8th. I started rehab 3 days after. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 8, 9, 10, 11. So on the 11th, I started my rehab. Just like trying to bend my knee and all types of stuff. Completed rehab on like the 28th of July. Flew and drove. So I flew to Kansas, got a rental car, and on the 1st, I was there. And we had practice.
Wow. So while you had this wreck and you're hurt and you're still trying to train and stuff, I just want to know, because I feel like for me, like, the worst part about this thing would be, like, the uncertainty of, like, what's going on. Was that, like, a big thing for you, or you just, like, had faith that it was all going to work out, or, like...
So I'm trying to think. So I was talking to the coaches when I just only had my wrist broken, right? Mm-hmm. And so they had given me an opportunity. And so when they were like, you can't catch, I'm like, no, I'm going to find a way. I'm going to find a way to catch this ball. We're going to figure it out. Because I'm not going to go down there and be boo-boo. That's like, I'm not going back to middle school when I was trash. Like, I've already had so much confidence built in playing. I'm going to keep going. We'll figure it out from here.
Right.
But once I tore my meniscus, it was just like, don't say nothing. Like, you will get your wheels back. You will you got to get your wheels back because they count on you to run a 4.3 like you told them you can run. Mm-hmm. So that's not their problem. But don't say nothing because you don't want to lose a scholarship. So get the scholarship, get down there, and my wheels did come back. So, you know, I was flying around the field, this and that. However, this coach wanted to play a press man defense, and I could not jam because they had me on the right side of the field. So as soon as I'm going to press, I'm sticking with my left hand. It's broken.
Did they know that your body was hurt like this?
No, they knew absolutely nothing. I wasn't telling them that because when I was at MT, I saw how they treated dudes who got hurt. Right. Like, oh, you hurt? Okay, well, that's it. Bye. Like, I'm not. I'm smarter than that. And then learning from you and what they did to you and my brother. My brother messed up his little knee in Memphis, bro, and they just act like he didn't exist. Mm-hmm. So it's like, no, I'm not telling them none of that. Like, again, I'm gonna figure it out. Y'all put me in the corner, telling me I can't catch. Well, shit, we gonna figure it out. So, yeah, he's like, jam. So I'm jam. He's like, harder. And I'm like, literally, like, I feel like I'm breaking my wrist even more trying to jam. And so then they basically like, okay, you're not as good as we thought you were to get on the sideline. So the corner on the left side of the field gets hurt. So I get in, and now I'm jamming this. I'm smacking them because I have a strong hand now. So it's just like just playing.
They never guessed that like maybe your hand could have been hurt at all.
Man, they had no idea what was going on.
They're just like, oh, all he does is right arm stuff. His left side weak as hell.
So after that happened, I solidified my starting spot because I started balling out, getting deflections, getting interceptions. And man, I don't know, bro. I don't know, like, I'll take the credit, like, just being like a prima donna coming from a big school. Like, I'm asking, like, man, like this town, bro, maybe has like maybe 1,000 people, right? But MTSU is the biggest school in Tennessee. Yeah. So they got Chick-fil-A's on campus, damn near IHOP's on campus. Like, it's just a big school. So going to this little school, I was like, man, where's the food at? Like, where can I like grab something to eat? They're like, the cab. I'm like, nah, like something else. And they're like, we don't have a cab. We don't have a Chick-fil-A. It's not MTSU. And so I'm like, well, shit, yeah, it should be. Like, y'all got all this Catholic money. Like, the Pope is rich. Why can't he kick down some bread down here? So I'm like, talking mess or whatever, but I'm thinking it's friendly because it's in the group chat of the players. But the coaches was in there, man. They took some type of offense to it because like they was born and raised in Kansas, so they started BSing and not really like messing with me for real. So messing with like my practice reps and all of that, right? Yeah. So now I'm thinking back to my times at Centennial. Like, man, you need to shut up. You don't need to say nothing because you gonna get kicked off the team, benched, whatever, and you too good to be staying on the sideline. So after like the third game, man, I'm like, Coach, why am I not playing, bro? Like, what is it that I need to do? Because the first game, I had got like exposed to COVID, whatever. The second game, I was like hurt or something like that. I messed up my ankle. And then the third game, they put me in for like the last 4 minutes of the game. And I was just like, I'm not going through this again like I did with basketball. Right. So I humble myself and I'm like, Coach, what is it that I need to do, man? And he's just like, man, just keep making plays, man. It's a clown act up here in the coaching office. I'm like, what does that mean? Oh, bro, I forgot to say. So the dude that recruited me in, he left. Once he, like 2 weeks after like summer ball started or whatever, he was gone. Right. So I asked him, am I in good hands here or do I need to leave with you? He was like, no, you in good hands. Again, this is my first time getting a scholarship. So I'm like, I don't really know how this is gonna play out. Yeah. So yeah, long story short, it was a clown act in the head office, and bro, literally it gets to a point where I'm pointing at the cameraman up top, like, watch this, I'm finna get a pick, and then I go and get a pick. Or watch this, I'm finna get a deflection, and I get a deflection on the ball. Like, so y'all can see that I need to be in the game, because we're getting 40, 50, 60, 70 points put up on us, and we haven't scored. So I'm not even talking about letting me play offense. Y'all wanted me to play defense. I'm in here. I'm doing my job. I'm getting deflections. I'm getting interceptions. Mm-hmm. Why? Like, what's going on? What else do I need to do? Keep making more plays in practice. I don't need, bro. I'm not a tackler. Like, that's not my game, right? I'm going to cover somebody, pick the ball up. I'm out here forcing fumbles. You feel what I'm saying? Like, what's next? Then the rest of the season gets canceled by COVID.
How many games y'all get to play?
I think three or four. It was 3 or 4 games.
3 or 4.
And then they canceled the rest of it, right? Sending everybody home. So I come home, I'm training all offense because I'm like, man, F that DB stuff. Because I did DB and y'all want to hold me and not let me play. Mm-hmm. So again, I gave my all to something. When they canceled that season, did you know you weren't going back or did you think you were? So, no, I did go back because they canceled just the fall and we were going to play in the spring. So I come home, I'm training, I put on a good like 30 pounds because out there I wasn't eating. I ain't had no car out there. Because of the wreck, right? My insurance money ain't come through yet. I live like 3.7 miles from the school, so I'm walking to school every day in the cold. The scholarship was for my school. I didn't get no refund, so it wasn't like I had bread to eat. So I applied for food stamps. It didn't come till October. So like my first 2 months down there, I wasn't eating. So I went from a wreck to a surgery to playing ball. I was literally 133 pounds playing football. Malnourished. I was 133 pounds, but I was in shape because I was walking back and forth every day. So it was like, it is what it is. So October came, I put on like 10 pounds, and that's when I got hurt because I was eating. My body wasn't used to it because I was eating so much so fast. Boom, snapped my ankle, whatever. Anyway, long story short, we get here in November, and I get back healthy, right? Back to like my 165, 168 range. And I'm working all receiver stuff because I'm like, yeah, they don't like me at DB. And out of the last 4 games, it's 200 to like 12. Right. We need some points. Right. So I talk to the coaches. They're like, we'll see, man. I don't know. Like, we'll talk about it when you get here, da-da-da-da. So we shoot back up there, right, in the middle of the night. Communication is horrible in this program, bro. Like, nothing was communicated ever. So they said, whatever they said, they're like, hey, you guys got to be back on January 8th at this time. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, it's the 7th at midnight, bro. Like, we have to go now. Mm-hmm. So me and my homeboy get in the car. We drive up there. I get up there, take the COVID test. It's like a crazy storm in Tennessee, so I tell them I'm going to be late. And they're like, oh, it's okay. It's no big deal, man. Just make sure you get your COVID test. Oh, man, we coming back for a COVID test, bro. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So everybody tests come back negative or whatever. Man, we wake up the next morning, and they canceled the season for good because the other schools weren't, like, doing COVID protocol.
Yeah, they want to mess with it, yeah.
So I'm back in the same BS situation again. I got no film. Mm-hmm. I'm still trying to play ball. And COVID is just wiping seasons out. So outside of my own injuries and my own, like, shortcomings, I just, like, the world is ending.
Yeah. Remember when I said a reoccurring theme? He does all he can on his end, and it just never works out. Like, it just, and this is not even the craziest part yet. Like, it's not even the worst program he was in. Like, it gets worse than this.
So, man, you feel me? At this point, I'm kind of hopeless, but more motivated to work than ever because I knew I wasn't really healthy, to my full potential or whatever. And so I talked to my trainer down here, and I'm like, man, I'm trying to go pro, so I don't want to be surrounded by no college athletes no more. Like, if they're not coming from Alabama and Clemson, or they're not in the NFL already, I don't want to train with them because, like, that's the level of play that I have to be on so that I can keep going with this because I'm still old. Like, even though I've only been playing for 3 years, I started playing at 20. Mm-hmm. All right, so, yeah, time is running out. They not finna draft a 26-year-old man. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like, what are my options? So I'm working out, I'm training, I'm grinding, boom, 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 boom. I get up to, like, 175 pounds, like, feeling good, looking good, feet are good, hands are good. Got this recruit from the Carolina Panthers who's like, man, you're nice. He was like, I mean, he came in every day and pumped me 200 drugs every day. Mm-hmm. He was like, man, you're good, bro. You got the hands, you got the ability. You just kind of need some film, man. Like, without no film, like, it's kind of hard to, like, bring you in because you don't have a history of playing football. And that's the same thing Cat from the Jets said. He was like, if you get some film, then we can talk with something. Yeah.
All this is back in Nashville, too. Like, when he left Kansas and he's back.
Oh, yeah, I left immediately. I unenrolled from school, all that. I damn near dropped out. Like, mm-hmm. I ain't going back to college because I'm finna go pro. I'm going to find a way to go overseas. I'm going to do something. So I'm talking to literally everybody trying to get on with the CFL, XFL, something. The XFL is shut down. They stopped. So there's another, like, all right, well, you tried. Shut out.
Right.
The CFL, what was going on with the CFL at the time?
They're still going. They still have. They just wasn't.
Something was going on.
They just weren't messing with you.
Yeah, it wasn't. So it was just like, I can go overseas. So I talked to this one guy that I used to train with. He was playing linebacker in Mexico at the time. And I was like, bro, how do I get overseas? So he told me to make this profile, blah, 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 boom, boom, boom. They ended up having like a regional combine out in Lynchburg, Virginia. And the player personnel for the Washington the Washington football team was like the lead of it. Mm-hmm. And so you got an opportunity to, showcase yourself to that pro football team and then like all the team overseas. So at this time I'm working on like combine stuff now that I know about that. So first it was just like, I don't even know, like footwork, getting faster, whatever. But then it got like combine specific. And so once this opportunity came up, I had the idea of like filming my process to like my path to the draft kind of. Mm-hmm. But again, I'm this person who believes that I'm this great athlete, my trainers and, my support staff believe that as well. However, in the football world, I still don't exist. Yeah. So it's just like the name of my documentary was called Non-Existent. Started filming that. And that is still, I guess, like in the works. But it
kind of slowed down on it.
Yeah. Because when I went to the Lynchburg thing and performed, they sabotaged my numbers, right?
What do you mean they sabotage your numbers?
They said I ran a 4.9, bro. They said I ran a 4.940.
Wow. After you'd already been clocked, like with a 4.3 and 4.4 and whatever.
So in my mind, I'm like, okay, I did have a surgery. I have put on some more weight. Blase, blah. But there's no way. There's just no way. Like, nigga, I can wake up. I still closed and run a 4.5. Like, I've never, my first 40 ever at 13 years old was a 4.57. I know I did not get slower after running 2 years of high school track and 3 years of college track. I didn't get that much damn slower. Ain't no way. So a 4.9 is like unbelievable. So that immediately shut all my chances off of going overseas, going pro, anything. Immediately. Don't nobody want nobody who's 5'8", 160 pounds run a 4.9. You lied. Brother, you told me you ran a 4.3, you're a liar. I don't know. Go home.
Why would they? I don't know.
We had to pay $200 to sign up, go, whatever.
This is just a scam.
That's what it looked like to me.
Did anybody get picked up from it? That you know of or no?
Nah, I didn't know nobody going to it. But they sent out a list saying like, you know, this person got picked up over here, this person got picked up over there. But again, bro, I've always told you, bro, it's not about what you do, bro. It's all about who you know.
Yeah.
Because that showcase, I wasn't Odell at that showcase. But I displayed the little things that coaches look for, right? Mm-hmm. Listening, for one. Are you even coachable? Right. Second, you feel me? Like, I don't know, looking the ball all the way into the tuck. Everything. Like, I dropped an open pass. One pass was just completely overthrown. But I made, like, my contested catches.
Right.
And then, yeah, I did the 40, the broad jump, shuttle, all that. And so it was just like...
So you actually performed pretty well. They just didn't...
Decently, yeah. I performed decently.
There it is again. I'm telling you. It keeps happening.
So, shuts down. And I'm like, well, what do I do? Get back to work.
That's all you know. That's all you can do. I
start working out 3 times a day at a pro level. So I'm going in the morning. No, I'm waking up at 5 a.m. again, doing my own thing, right? Running hills, jump roping up the hill, right? Trying to get the foundation of my legs back, right? Trying to get my hip flexor strong, trying to get my glutes strong. So it's like, I know I don't run a 4.9 because that stuck with me, bro. Like, I was like, damn, am I really slow?
Did you ever get down during this process? Like, was it an emotional roller coaster? Like, did you stay up or like...
Nigga, I thought I was a bum. Here I am telling people I'm going to be the next Odell Beckham. You know what I'm saying? Who is Odell? Y'all need to worry about Tracey Jenkins. And I go out there and run a 4.9. Nigga, take your bum ass home. Like, you suck. And that's the only test that I get. Mm-hmm. I go out there, I'm working. But when I go to test, they say I run a 4.9. I know I don't, but it sticks with me because, like, what if it is true? Like, that's what the trainer said. He's like, well, I mean, we never timed you. And so I'm like, nigga, what? Like, that's how you really feel? Like, you never timed me, so you don't know, like, oh, it's possible that you could have ran a 4.9? I'm like, bruh, no. So every night, like, and that, bro, during this, bro, I done moved out my mama's house, bro. Like, so much mentally was going on. But I it's in my heart, bro. I'm working NFL DBs, bro. I know that I can do this. Mm-hmm. But when given opportunity, it doesn't work out. But the opportunity doesn't work out. I do my part. I do perform. The opportunity doesn't work out for whatever reason.
For whatever reason, dude. Whatever reason.
This is in...
This was this year. This was July or June?
No, it was before that.
Before that?
It was before that. It was cold here still.
Was it? Yeah, it sure was.
Yeah, because I came home in January.
Probably March-ish.
When everybody went away. When did everybody go away to camp? Like in the NFL.
To like OTAs?
Yeah, OTAs and minicamp and all of that.
I think that's April, I think.
That's April. Okay, yeah. So that is when everything... That's when it really got bad, right?
Yeah.
Because when I came home back to work, it was just like, oh yeah, that combine didn't work out, but I'm still in here training with y'all, so something might happen, right? I'm feeding off their energy, their camaraderie. But once they start leaving, and it's only me and the dudes who ain't been picked up, it starts to change. It starts getting cold. It starts getting real dark, and it's just like, man, is this thing really gonna work out? They're questioning like, man, this is all I know, but should I pick up real estate? Should I get into the stock market? Should I do something with the little money I do have? Like, what do I do? Right? Mm-hmm. People like Emmanuel Hall getting cut from injury, it's just like, damn, like, he's a prototypical receiver. And I know he runs a 4.3. 4.3, 6'6", jumps 6 feet in the air, like,
yeah, he's a freak.
What I'm gonna do, right? Mm-hmm. Keep working, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what else to do. There's no more opening doors.
That's so hard to keep working your hardest when you don't really have an end goal anymore. It's kind of just like, now I'm just doing it just to do it.
That's what it really felt like.
Yeah.
But in that darkness, bro, I truly believed that an opportunity was going to open that benefited me, right? Being in I knew I didn't like the cold, but being in Kansas really showed me I didn't like the cold. Yeah. I can't feel my feet. I don't feel like I can even cut or nothing. So I prayed and asked God for an opportunity that was warm, right? Mm-hmm. And in a situation where just my hard work would speak for itself. Nothing else. They don't care that I don't have film. They don't care that my hair is yellow. They don't care about nothing else, but do you work hard? That's how you earn your spot. And if you keep performing, you're going to keep it. Okay? So, filming this documentary, still trying to just get my name out there just so people can see me in the football world. Like, oh, this kid does work hard. Let's see if we can pick him up. Like, kind of like that one kid in the NBA who was just like, he just was grinding, like, on TikTok, like, just showing, like, he worked hard and would do basketball drills. And he got picked up in, like, the Mavericks G League or something like that.
Really? Oh, I didn't even know that.
Mm-hmm. So I was trying to do something like that. Like, let me work my way to their attention. So I'm tagging NFL teams, NFL owners, et cetera, et cetera. So that all kind of dies down. My film team, their hope is starting to dwindle. Because it's just like,
it's not looking bright.
It's not looking too bright, man. So yeah, I can't really spend too much time here because you feel me, I gotta go make money. I still gotta pay bills, blah blah blah. So at this point, my trainer's like, "Hey man, like, NFL season is like, off season's over with. Like, what are you finna do? Like, if you're not playing ball, do you want to be a trainer?"
Is this June or
May?
This is like summer-ish time.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And I'm like, yeah, man, I guess. He's like, yeah, man, you just come in here at 8 o'clock from 8 to 12 every day, help me train like the rest of the guys that are lagging around, and, you know, these other like class, like fitness classes, you know, maybe I can just give you a start to like being a trainer. Like, you don't gotta necessarily leave the game even though you can't play no more.
Right. So
I do that for like maybe 2 or 3 weeks, bro. But I'm still like doing stuff on my own because I'm like, I just don't believe it. Like, I haven't lost hope yet.
Yeah.
And so at that time, man, I see one of the cats that I met in Kansas sign with a football team. And they signed with the University of Fort Lauderdale, and this dude named Chris Chambers is the head coach. So I know Chris Chambers because my uncle was a humongous Miami fan. He was like, man, Chris Chambers, man, he was legit. He was a Pro Bowler, this, and that.
He was a receiver for the Dolphins.
For the Dolphins. Spent 10 years in the league. And so he was like, I reach out to Nick, and Nick, in my opinion, was the best receiver that we had at St. Mary, right? He was big. He caught all 50-50 balls. He just was never healthy. So he was always getting hurt. But being a guy who gets hurt, like, nigga, you still the best. I don't really care about that you hurt right now. Like, you still perform better than a lot of these cats.
Right.
So I reach out to him, and I'm like, hey, bro, congrats, first of all, because he's from Florida. And I'm like, man, congrats on getting to school at home. Like, I know you happy. He was like, man, heck yeah. And I said, bro, is it any chance that y'all need more players on y'all team? Like, I'm looking for a home. And he was like, yeah, bro, we actually do. This is the first year this school has ever existed, and we're building a program, bro. They have a showcase coming up on the 25th of June if you want to come and perform. And I'm like, yes.
You were ecstatic, huh?
Bro, this was literally June 21st. So I'm coming. I'm coming regardless because all hope is lost. Ain't no mini camp. The nigga from the Panthers, I no disrespect. The man from the Panthers was like, you're great, but we're not going in the path or direction of small receivers. We just cut somebody like you. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, I can't do nothing with that. So, and the dude from the Jets, John Carr, was just like, man, you don't have no film, man. Like, you want me to bring you in here off what? That you work out with some guys in the league? Anybody can work out with them. Da, 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 da. He was like, man, you get some film, then we can talk. And if you got an opportunity at college, that's where you need to go. So, boom. Oh, I forgot about TSU. But that doesn't matter. Trying to walk on there, they kicked me out. They meeting. It was just like, no.
Really?
Yeah.
That must have been very brief, huh?
Yeah, it was real quick. And because of the MTSU meeting that I walked into and they kicked me out, like that, when I walked into the MTSU meeting and they kicked me out, that was devastating. Yeah. But doing it at TSU, I already knew what time it was. Like, it didn't, I was like, oh, fuck it. Okay, well.
You really, so you just picked one day when they started their thing and you just walked in there?
So, all right, so I got to get the story into it. So going back, again, I understand the schedule of football and how it works and when players earn scholarships. So coming to walk on, I showed up to their first summer meeting. Because I'm like, y'all not finna start summer workouts and like gain your team camaraderie and then I come in like, oh, I want to play. No, because everything you learn for the season is in the summer. Right? Your workouts, the plays, all this and that. You're not finna plug me in on week 1 when y'all playing. Like, I know I'm not gonna see the field. Yeah. So I show up to the meeting and I get kicked out and embarrassed and get told to walk on after moving into the dorm. Like, I signed up for summer classes and all that, so I couldn't be denied. They denied me anyway.
And this is the MTSU.
That was at MTSU. Yeah. So whatever. We fast forward to TSU. I'm training with they new transfer. They star running back from the previous season and they quarterback. And they like, man, you hot. Like, come over there. Like, you feel me? Just try to get on. My parents, they have a personal relationship with Eddie George. So when he took the job, I was like, oh, okay, that's good money. Like, I'm building this movie in Nashville. I'm training with people from TSU. Yeah. I got another trainer who went to TSU. Like, man, I'm plugged in. I'm going to TSU. Get up there. He's like, hey, Tracy, how you doing, man? Tell your mom I said hello, but no. He didn't really say no. A guy on his staff stepped in and was like, if you're a walk-on and you weren't here last year, then you have to go through a walk-on process in the fall. I said, man, if y'all do that, y'all already know I'm not going to be able to get a chance to play because y'all already going to have y'all team. And he's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not looking at me. You're going to throw me on scout team. And I'm not in that position, man. Like, y'all just brought in Zach Dobson.
Yeah, you already did all your scout team stuff.
Yeah, we already know what time it is, man. Like, me and Zach, and then Fat Cat, Darian Johnson is his name. Like, bro, we're good caliber receivers. Like, you know what's going on. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And they stamping me. I'm not like sucking their meat to try to get on. They're like, bro, go talk to them. Like, bro, we trying to do something big. We like you, bro. Like, we running like 3-on-3s. And they're like, yeah, come get in our group and see what it's like if you came to TSU.
But it doesn't matter what the players think.
It don't matter at all what the players say. So whatever. Got out that meeting. It was whatever. I wasn't even tripping. I was like, I'm gonna figure something out. Anyway,
back to the showcase and
back to the showcase. So that's on the 25th, on June 21st, right? So June 21st, I'm on the phone with the Jets. He tells me if you have an opportunity to go to college, man, you take it. I'm like, all right. So I was out working with Corey, and I was like, man,
just the fact you're even able to get on the phone with these NFL guys is like kind of incredible in itself.
Will, bro, nothing but will. Bro.
What, you just kept calling him,
kept ringing him? Will and connection. Like, I had a friend who gave me his phone number because she saw my dedication to something that wasn't ever working out, and she was just like, man, give this kid a shot. Can you please just talk to him, give him some guidance on what to do? So got his number, kept calling, and then he finally called me back. When I was
no way, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You just keep defying the odds, dude. I'm telling you,
man. But it's like those be the little lights at the end of the tunnel, right? So I'm sitting there with Corey, like, man, why I'm still jump roping, man? I've been jump roping for 6 years, bro. And ain't nothing worked out. Like, what am I really doing with my time? Mm-hmm. Like, we in this like broke down school, and it's just, and I'm in a parking lot, man. It's just like, man, this ain't it, man. Mm-hmm. This ain't it. Like, I feel like I'm really wasting my time. And he was like, well, nephew, that's the way you feel, man. Like, you giving up on you. And then he calls. And I'm like, what's up? So then I tell Corey, and I'm like, I'm finna go work out right now. Because I was still, again, working out on my own, working out, what his name was Austin. Like Jeremy handles all the field stuff and Austin handles all the weight room stuff. So I work out with Austin, work out with Jeremy, go to Uncle Corey, work out, and then go back to Austin again to lift again. On my way to go work out with Austin again, I get in another car wreck. So this time, I'm driving. It's raining super heavy. The cat hits me. I hydroplane. I smash into like the median on the interstate. I flow into traffic, and I'm still trying to like maneuver with the whip. Boom! Smash into it again. And at this point, I'm pissed off, man. Like I ain't never been so mad in my life. So I get out the car and I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me. Like I can see the devil truly working and not trying to let me play ball.
Yeah.
So I can't get to the workout because obviously my wreck and I was so far away. So I go to the hospital, I get checked out. Or actually I don't even get checked out because I went to I didn't go to Vanderbilt, which is where I should have went. I went somewhere else, and they took all day, like 4 or 5 hours after, and I'm like, bruh, I'm going home. Like, this wreck is nothing compared to my last wreck, so I'm fine, right? Woke up the next morning, not fine. Really couldn't even move.
Yeah.
So
You hurt your shoulder again, right? Or was it?
No,
not that.
Oh, no, yes. My shoulders and all that was actually really sore. So that's what I'm saying. I couldn't move, bro. I was hurt. So that was the 22nd, okay? I woke up on the 23rd. I went...
Whoa, that was right before the showcase?
Yes, bro. So let me tell you. So that's on I wake up on the 23rd, and I'm like, I got to do something. So I went, I did oxygen therapy, a hyperbaric chamber. I did the freezing cold chamber, okay? And then I went and got a massage. So I got the massage first and then did all of that, right? I woke up on the 24th and... backwards. 23rd, got my massage. The 24th, I did the oxygen and did the whatever.
Yeah.
Got on the plane, left. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I wake up on the when I get to there on the 24th, I go to the school, I see the campus, I see the facilities where we're going to train at, and this man said, his name was Tony Sands. He's like a South Florida legend. He was just like, This program going to be built off hard work. We don't care what you came from. We don't care what you used to do. Da-da-da. If you don't work hard with me, your ass ain't going to play. I said, I got this in the bag. I'm coming. I don't care what happens after this. I'm coming because it's all built off on hard work, and they don't care who you was or what you did or whatever. You don't even got to have no film. He was like, bro, he literally said like key things. Like, you don't got to have film. We don't care what school you went to. If you work hard, you going to play.
And that's all you need to hear. That's everything.
So I was like, it's good money. So I wake up on the 25th, man. And the 8th.
Still hurting? Body still hurting?
I'm locked in, man.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
I'm locked in. I'm locked in. That's all I'm going to say. I'm locked in.
Right.
So I get to the school, and the AD is like, you can't compete in the showcase because St. Mary hasn't transferred you out of their system yet. I said, I haven't been at that school since last November. I withdrew from the school, so I don't know what you're talking about. So I'm calling my coaches. They say I need a transfer. We don't even have a transfer system. We're an NAI and we don't have that. What are they talking about? And I'm like, what's not finna happen is I get effed over again by like the system of the schools. That's not happening. Right? I have an opportunity to perform in front of an NFL legend.
Man.
And you kick rocks, Miss AD. I'm so sorry. So, because she told me that, I ain't drink no water. I ain't hydrate. I ain't eat nothing because it was like, you can't perform.
Yeah. So
I'm like, I just came down here for nothing. I get to the showcase and the coach is just like, man, just go ahead and do it. Just go ahead. And I'm like, you ain't gotta tell me twice, nigga. I ball. Like, okay, what's up? So, get there, and the first thing I do is broad jump, and they set it out to like 9 feet, and I'm like, Coach, that's not gonna be long enough, because I had just broad jumped at the showcase or whatever in Washington. Mm-hmm. He was like, "Well, you just jumped, man, and we gonna see."
Jumped all the way over it.
Nigga, duh. I jumped like 10'6". So like, don't 9 feet is what? So then I jumped like 10'6". He's like, oh, okay, this man, he really like that. So you feel we making connection with the players and all this and this whole time, man, like from the 21st to me leaving, like everybody's like, man, you going to South Florida to play football, man? That's different. Like you ain't gonna be able to hang with them boys. They breed the most NFL players in the league. Da da da. Man, what? I'm Tracey Jenkins, man. I ain't worried about none of that.
Man.
So do that. I do the shuttle and the L drill. And the L drill I was kind of iffy on, just because I've never done it before, and I didn't have to do it at the one.
There's like a certain technique to it too.
Yeah, but it was cool. But all of that didn't matter to me, man. I was so focused on this 40 because they said I ran a 4.9. Like, that's all I thought about. So I get in my.
It's didn't do the 40 first.
They had us all split up. They did it like a high school workout.
Yeah, they're trying to save time.
So I get down there, and I jumped first, so I got to run first. So they went in the same order in which they had you listed off. So I run first. So I'm breathing or whatever, and I get into my stance, man. I'm just like, this is it. Like, touch money. Because you didn't the last time you were at this opportunity. You don't know how many more opportunities you're going to have. Like, you were literally begging and praying for this. Like, It's warm. You like, what else?
Were your nerves going crazy? Walking up to the line?
No.
No?
Bro,
really?
I was domination, bro. I just got in a wreck.
You locked in, huh?
I'm not stopping. I will not stop until I get what I want. Mm-hmm. Okay? So I'm on the line. Take off. I slip, man. Oh, I'm so pissed. But it's like, it's catchable. So I'm going. Boom. I run all the way to the end, like to the end zone, right? I turn around and my teammate from Kansas is like he's making this face like I was smoking. So I'm like, thumbs up, thumbs down. And they looking at the watch and they're like, whoa, now that's how you start off a showcase. 4, 3, 9. I'm like, ah, yes, sir. So one coach had me at a 4, 3, 9. The other one had me at a 4, 4, 1. And they was like, we gonna hold you at a 4, 4, 0. Like, that's how you start off a showcase.
Oh, Tracey, man, you killed me, dude.
So but it's not over, right? Because I dropped balls at the last time I had an opportunity to perform to somebody. So I'm like, I know I ain't run no fucking 4.9, nigga. Let's go. So I'm lining up, doing one-on-ones, breaking them off, snapping down quick, catching the ball, scoring. Man, through the whole showcase, man, I had 5 catches and 5 touchdowns.
Right.
The receiver coach is just like, man, you came here to get paid. I said, man, I don't know what the mother boys is doing. I'm trying to feed my family, but I came here to touch money. Mm-hmm. And he was like, yeah, I like that. So I literally balled. Like, they're like, we're going deep to Tracey. And you ain't going deep over here. House call. Boom! Like, bro, it was phenomenal, bro. The energy was high. People was backflipping, all this and that. Like,
really,
bro, it looked like 7-on-7 summer league where people was getting dunked on, all that. Like, just going dumb. He was moving me inside, outside. He was like, man, you just so good. I don't know where to put you. I'm like, just give me a chance, coach. Put me anywhere. I got you. Like, locked in, bro. So, we finished.
Did you really feel like at that time, like, oh my God, all this time I spent doing this training, like, did you really feel it, like...
It all paid off.
Yeah.
In that moment, that's exactly when it paid off, bro. Because it got me in the door. And that's all I've been praying for. Mm-hmm. Right? Because I got character. I'm a good dude. Like, I'm going to be able to stay. So, after the showcase, man, he's just like, man, Chris James is like, man, you had one hell of a day, man. Like, for real, man. I would love for you to come down here. We're going to take care of you. Blah, 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 blah. And we started some workouts. I said, when do I need to be here? He was like, 5th of July. Today's the 25th. I'm like, nigga, that's like a week?
Yeah.
You want me to just up and leave in a week? And I was like, fuck it. Come on. So I moved out of my partner's house, because I moved out of my mom's house, lived in with my homeboy, moved out of his house, got all my stuff, bought a car at that. Like, when I got back in town, my money hit. surprisingly, I went through all of that at St. Mary, no money. I got in a wreck in April. My money didn't come till July of whatever. Mm-hmm. So get my money, get a car, get a crib, like everything, like the whole process of getting set up down there.
It all just came together.
Just like that, bro. So, well, actually, I didn't get a crib. The crib was like what I got last, but I got my car, flew down there, shipped my car, and was staying in the Airbnb for like the first 3 days. Mm-hmm. Then after that, once my car got there, I slept in my car because they had no housing.
Right.
So after that, I was telling the coaches, like, man, I don't got nowhere to go. I don't got nowhere to live. He put me in a hotel. And then, like, it wasn't supposed to cost me, but it cost me like $700. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what hotel? Or it was like $498. I'm like, what hotel costs $498 a night? Like, bitch, I just need somewhere to lay my head. I don't need to stay in the goddamn Omni hotel or that.
Yeah.
But I thought because it was his connection, like, I was cool. But I wasn't. So that run me out a lot of money.
Yeah.
So the receiver coach ended up opening up his house, letting me stay there throughout summer workouts. And then, like, I was just looking for apartments. Boom, boom, boom. So, now getting into our season.
Yeah.
At UFTL.
This is past year. This is 2021.
Yeah, this is literally, like, the season just ended, like, last week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this was an experience, man. So, he ended up holding 2 more showcases. So, I went to the second showcase. After that, there was 2 more showcases. And I would say like a total like 100 and maybe like 200 people came to all the showcases, right?
Yeah.
So many people went home because they didn't have housing, bro. Mm-hmm. That we literally played our season with. We started the season with 33 people. Mm-hmm. 19 of them were receivers. And we ended it with 24 people healthy to play a game. Our last game we played with 24 people. So every game was a dogfight, like literally us against the world. I met these guys in July. Mm-hmm. I'm playing with them in August and September, so we have no chemistry.
But they're somewhat starting to give you the ball now. Like, this is what you wanted. In a way.
Yes. In every way. It's hot. I work. I'm starting. I'm outside receiver. Like, man, everything is going perfect. Everything. Like, the offense is built around me.
Right.
He's like, nigga, you a playmaker. Put the ball in his hands. Let him do what he do. And again, 5 for 5 at the showcase. 4 for 4 on my first practice. 5 for 5 on my next practice. Like, I'm getting the ball and I'm scoring. I can't be stopped. Mm-hmm. Bro, it was crazy. Bro.
Yeah.
Like, I had my first drop, I think, in like the 4th week of practice. Like, I was going dumb. But I was catching 200 balls off the jug machine all summer, so it makes sense why I wasn't dropping the ball.
Right.
But then, man, everything changed. Everything changed, bro. We get to, I think it was like August. School started August 14th. August 7th, I ended up getting into my crib, right?
Yeah.
I got the crib on behalf of my family. My family never actually ended up coming, so I was waiting on my scholarship return.
This is your Uncle Corey, the one you got so close with a long time ago, and he's supposed to live with you, but it didn't work out.
It didn't work out. Nah, he had some stuff going on back home, so he was unable to make it. And then my other cousin, she was supposed to come live with me. But again, she had some stuff going on with her kids and her husband at the time. So it was just a bad situation.
Right.
I was trying to take everybody out their bad situation, but the situation just got so bad they couldn't even get out of it. Mm-hmm. But long story short, man, sleeping in a house with no furniture, like it's marble floors, so it's like really, really nice. But I don't have no furniture, I don't got no bed, I don't have nothing. Like, I'm sleeping on my pile of clothes that I packed down there. But I'm balling, so I'm not complaining. Mom asked me how I was doing. Mom, everything's great. I'm getting the ball. I'm doing my thing. I got my food stamps, so I'm not missing meals. Like, everything is on the up and up. So then everyone else is going through this issue. Like, they don't have nowhere to stay. They running out of money. Granted, because I got my insurance payout, I was able to last a little bit longer. So I'm telling everybody, y'all can come to the crib. Y'all can come to the crib. Bro, it was like 10 deep in a 2-bedroom house. Everybody sleeping on air mattresses on the floor, like, because we don't have no furniture.
Yeah.
So I got like 2 or 3 pots and pans that my people sent me. I'm cooking food.
And nobody got a scholarship on this team.
No, like we all had one, but ain't nobody fill out no paperwork or nothing because everything was like sped up. Like we started workouts together in July, and we still had people coming in like the 3rd week of like fall camp, like trying to like, oh, I'm here for the first time because of housing. So once the season starts and school starts, bruh, like I start experiencing concussion symptoms, and like nobody really knows what's going on with me, but the trainer is just like, man, it's probably just like, you know, post car accident stuff. So you got in a wreck, you came down like 4 days later, you came down here and performed your ass off, got back on a plane, and like everything has just been like sped up. You had like nothing got time to set in because you ignored it. Right. But you can't like ignore some stuff. Like it's gonna creep up on you. So whatever, man. I'm concussed. Again, like I can't remember my own name. Nothing. Like I don't know where I'm at. I didn't know the year. A whole bunch of stuff, bro. Like I'd be driving and I'm like, where am I going? Like just I didn't know nothing. So literally from like the end of or middle of August to like the top of October, I don't remember really, truthfully. Like it was just like
everything. Car wreck, you had a concussion type deal.
Yeah, everything was a daze. But it
then on top of that, you're playing football every day.
But I ain't been hit.
Yeah,
I'm balling. I'm catching it going straight to the end zone. So it was weird because the doctor kept asking me like, "Have you been hit? Have you been tackled? Is this a current concussion?" And I'm like, "No." Like I'm looking back at film like I haven't, even when I'm blocking somebody, I'm like, no, there's been no connection of a trauma to my head outside of the last wreck. And so, I mean, that just like really proved to me like where there's a will, there's a way. Like, cause if I'm concussed now, that means I was concussed at the showcase.
Right.
It didn't stop me. Right? So I say, man, F this. I'm not missing this opportunity to play. I put my helmet and my pads back on, and the trainer's like, I don't feel like you're clear to play. I'm like, I'm good. Like, ask me something. And they were like, count down from 100 by 3. And I was like, 97. And that's it. I couldn't think of the rest of the numbers. But I was just like, F it, I'm going out there the ball. So I'm out there, and he's giving the signal, coach is giving the signal, and I'm just looking at him. I don't move. They say hut, and I don't move. And I'm just like, where am I? And he's like, get out. And she was like, bro, you're not going back out there. You're done. Da-da-da-da-da-da, whatever. And I'm like, nah, bro, because I didn't risk my life. Like, I almost died in the car.
Yeah.
Like, I finally get an opportunity. I'm not about to give it away because my head hurts.
Right.
Like, I'll figure it out. Just draw the route. Do something for me. So, get out there, and one of the receivers is like, man, you got a slant. And I'm like, okay, cool. So, I boom, run my slant, catch it, and I run through a nigga's face. Literally, put my head down, boom! Run through him and keep on going. And I'm like, now my head hurts. Like, now I'm dizzy, and now I need to stop. But, like, I ain't no hope. I'm not just going to take myself out. So, the trainer's, like, looking at me, and she was like, you weren't even looking at me, so I pulled you out of practice. And I'm like, when was this? Like, I don't even remember the chain of events that led up to this moment. So, whatever. I get healthy. But during that time, man, it was a lot going on with the team, with the coaching staff, and, like, the communication from the staff to the players, it was just, like, it wasn't there, man. So, they didn't really believe, they didn't understand, like, what was going on. Blase. I get healthy. I get back. I'm earning my spot back, which didn't make no sense to me because I'm the best receiver there.
Yeah.
I've proven myself to you.
Why should you have to...
Come on, bro. I was concussed, man. That wasn't my fault. Yeah. Like, I'm not out here BSing or something, man. Like, I'm trying to get back right.
That's funny. That's how football programs kind of treat it, though. It's like when you get hurt, it's kind of like... We're not saying you did it on purpose, but you're not going to have what you had when you got hurt.
Right. So I'm literally not even on the depth chart. Don't get to travel to the first 3 games. The first game. Second game, which is my first game, I was told like I wasn't really going to play. We'll figure it out game time decision. So they give me the first play. I run a little jet sweep, and we never can complete our first play as an offense. For whatever reason, we weren't able to do it all season. So some type of like penalty or something move us back. And they're like, watch the jet sweep. Watch the jet sweep. Granted, we're in Mississippi, bro. Again, coming off a concussion. Ain't been working out. Ain't been playing. I'm lost weight. I'm just like, oh, these Big Ten, these Mississippi boys, they coming.
Right.
Get the ball, get tackled or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. It doesn't click to me until like the second, not even second half. It might have been the second half because the running back was just like, ain't nobody blocking, man. The whole line ain't blocking. This isn't that. He's snapping, right? So I think back immediately to you, right? So you feel me? You got your dog in the backfield saying ain't nobody blocking. What you gonna do? You gonna block? Obviously, there's just no question. But it wasn't like just block. Because again, this whole time I've been practicing on the outside. I'm running deep, running post, running comebacks. That's it. They moved me to the inside and was like, we need you to go in there and block that linebacker when we get out of the half. So I look at myself in the mirror and I'm just like, man, you done overcame a lot to get to this point. Are you going to fold and be a bitch? Or you going to be a grown-ass man? And Ali was like, I ain't got no hole in my blood. What's up?
Hey.
Me and Chandler used to run it back, nigga. I ain't no pussy. So I get out there, first play, we running, he comes my way, boom, stick the linebacker. He was like, I don't even feel you. You gonna feel me before this game is over. You feel me? So every play I'm going in there, bow, just messing my head up, bro. Not giving no fucks, bro. Just going crazy. But I'm thinking like, man, this is it. Like, you've been working hard. Your life got almost taken away 2 different times. Like, just ball, man. Enjoy this, man. Like, and like, their eyes in the sky. Like, people are watching. Like, you put all this trash talk out there. You have to perform. The ball just wasn't coming my way, so all I can do is block. So I'm taking pride in all my blocks.
Yeah.
So
that's the best way to do that, and that's hard for a lot of people to do, especially when it's like you're not really getting the ball. But I mean that it pays off, especially when they go back and look at film and like, okay, he's not getting the ball, but what is he doing?
Right. So you feel me? Boom, block and do my thing or whatever. I get crap back, and that's when I really noticed like, okay, this is real. Like, this isn't a game no more. Like, once they because he threw it my way, it got picked off. And then somebody just came and just clean shot. Boom! Blasted me to the sideline. I looked like a rag doll. But I got up, ran down, made the tackle, and it was just like, we locked in. So, basically, man, so that was my first game. I had 1 target and the 1 jet sweep or whatever, a couple kick returns. And I was just like, I got my feet wet, I felt like. And then, next game, is when I got my first catch. It was a little like like a little screen. It was a little screen play. Caught the ball, took it for 12 yards, and was just like, okay, now I'm finna get in my bag. I got 4 more targets that game, and I didn't come up with none of them. And I was like, dang, man, like, what's going on? So then we get to the next game. I get 9 targets. I come up with none of them. And 2 of them I actually dropped. Like, some of them were just really bad balls, couldn't even get. But 2 of them hit me dead in my hands. Drop. So that was my 3rd game. My 4th game, I didn't get a single target. No target whatsoever. So I'm a total of like 4 drops, and I don't even know how many targets. But it wasn't until, which I didn't know was going to be my last game, but my last game, where I had, let me see, 1, 2, 3. I had 6 targets, 3 receptions, no drops. The targets were just bad balls.
Yeah.
So I got a total of 19 targets, 4 catches, 4 drops for 32 yards and 18 yards for yards after the catch. So my catching percentage was 21.5%. I averaged 8 yards per catch, and I played 62% of games. I played 5 of the 7 games that we played.
Mm.
And so, looking at that, I was just like, you gave it your all, but that is not enough.
Yeah.
I don't care if we had 29 players. You were out there. You do have a quarterback, and the ball did come your way. You have to catch the ones you were gonna catch, and you gotta catch the ones nobody thinks you gonna catch.
Bro, I love the attitude about all this that you had, because, like, man, like, a lot of people would have folded in a lot of these different situations that you just pressed on, dude. It's just, like, one after another. It's like...
I can't, bro. You still live on this earth. You see what I'm saying? Like, when stuff really gets hard, I think about how it was cold as shit at 3:50 in the morning. I did not want to get up. I did not want to go to the gym. But you were outside waiting on me. Like, bro, I'm outside. Nah, bro, just go ahead and work out without me. No, I'm going to get up and keep going. That's the only option we have.
Yeah.
Because I told you, when I want to get better, bro. I want to get stronger. You're like, okay, well, I'll pick you up every day. We're going to go to the gym. That hasn't changed. You still live on this earth. So I'm cognitive of when I'm going through something that sucks. It already sucks. So I'm just going to stop in the world to suck. Let's just see if we can just get to the other side.
Exactly.
Just keep going. Like, it already... Man, look, you already in pain. You already hurt. You might as well get a reward from it. You feel me? Shout out to E.T., man. Like...
Yeah.
Just keep going, bro, because you don't know. But if you quit and you stop, that's it.
Yeah. It's a great message, man. It really is.
So in that last game, I wanted to get a pancake like all season. Like, I just was like, if I'm gonna block, I want to put a nigga on his ass. So I get one, and then the next play, he comes back, he's furiated. So we twist and turn and boom, boom, and we hit the ground, man, and I get an ace. I mess up my shoulder. I'm 5 targets, 2 catches, and we're like going into the third quarter, man. And I go out there with my arm literally limp, like can't pick it up, run, stop, and he throws me the ball, and I'm like, oh hell, and I just like throw my arm up like this. And I catch the ball and go down with it.
Like a T-Rex.
Literally, bro. I literally just sling it up because I couldn't feel it. I couldn't move it. It turns out that I had an AC sprain and like messed up some ligaments and stuff in my shoulder blade or whatever. So I've been doing rehab since then. But it was just like, where there's a will, there's a way, man.
Yeah, it really is, bro.
In the moments where I was hopeless, we got 20 players coming up to practice today. We can't even really practice because we don't got a full team or whatever. The head, anything. It was my quad. I messed up my quad when I got down here, man. It was like I was so desperate when I was going to Lipscomb to train every day. And I prayed for this. So I don't care how it looks. Mm-hmm. I'm going to see it through. So all of that has transpired and gone on, right?
Yeah.
And what puts the stamp on it all is they fired my head coach 2 days after our exit meeting. We have an exit meeting. He's like, man, I know we didn't get you the ball as many times, and you feel me? There wasn't a lot of execution on your part, but there was a lot of effort, man. You kept going, you kept trying, you kept overcoming the adversity that was coming your way. We're going to figure out how to get you to transition from the way you practice to the way you execute. And I was like, yeah, coach. Truth be told, it's my first football season ever playing in a game. I've been practicing and training a lot, but I haven't got to play. So I'm going to need help from you to get out of this slump of whatever. Because it's not that I'm not confident. I I don't know. It's just reps. I don't know, but like it's way different. The game is fast. Like I do need help, and I want help from you. And he was just like, yeah, we're gonna figure it out, man. I'm glad you're coming back. I'm really excited. We gonna find a way to put you in the spotlight because, man, the way you work, it just can't go unseen. 2 days later, the school was like, sorry, he won't be the head coach no more. So again,
and the saga continued, boy. I'm telling you.
Back to work.
Back to work. Whew, man, that is a story if I've ever heard one. Man, like it's. I know I already said this, but it's like there's so many times where it's like, oh my god, like who would have just kept going? Like you just kept believing the whole time, and it's like I know it's not over yet. Like you're still working. Like you just had some more adversity hit you the other day. Like right. It's like here we are. So that being said, what are the plans? What do you think's gonna happen? Like aside from football, do you have anything going on that you like would want to talk about?
Man, let's see. Through all this, I have come to realize that life is bigger than football.
Yeah.
And I think I've always known that. But I think it's gotten to a point where it's just like my own heart's desire. Right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
The only reason I'm still going after this is because I want this. And I want it to go how I want it to go.
Right.
And I'm not afraid to put in the work or, you feel me, endure injuries to get it. And so this whole process and this whole story has really just showed me, like, when a man or woman, like, makes a decision, the earth, like, just, it gives into it. Like, when you show that you can't be denied, you're going to be accepted.
It does. It's something crazy about that. How it's like, I don't know what it is either. I don't know how things just fall into place, but it's like, once you really put your mind in something, like, things just, they just work out somehow.
That's it, bro. A man is just as he thinks. So it's just like, I think I am the best, and so I will be. It's all just a matter of time.
Right. That's an incredible story, man. Well, hey, we're going to wrap it up. Do you want to plug your socials or anything while we're here?
Yeah, man. Follow me on, IG, Snapchat, Twitter, at your boy TJ, YAHHBOII_TJ. And, look out for a new episode of Non-Existent. We've been filming, editing, and just the story continues, man. But this damn saga of BS, that's gonna stop.
And this is definitely not the last time you're gonna hear from Tracey Jenkins, at least on this podcast. So it's still going. There's still more to be told. The story's not over yet, so we're definitely gonna get back with it. But thank you all for listening. If you made it this far, hope to see you next time. Thanks.